tremendous looking trophy.
Hello everybody and welcome to the #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. Still not confirmed, but it's 100% true until someone else ever says anything else. I'm your host Dylan Blight. Today I'm joined by Nicholas Pryor.
It's your boy.
It's your boy Jono himself.
PlayStation.
That's terrible. Can you... I'm not accepting that. It's your boy PlayStation.
It's from the old PlayStation ads.
PlayStation. Didn't they just have Crash Bandicoot yelling with a sign? No, that was that Mario one.
Yeah.
Ashley Hobley.
Plat.
Fair enough. I mean, if Jack's not here, someone's
Yeah, he's not here, so I'll steal that.
Well,
seems to be the thing to do.
Yeah. I don't have a thing. What could people steal from me? Like, if I wasn't on a podcast, what's someone stealing as my intro?
They would just talk crap for
The
like
intro.
way too long.
Oh, probably like reciting Mein Kampf or something.
Jesus Christ!
Oh man, I was
Just
drinking.
talk poorly.
Did you say talking poorly?
Yeah.
Poor grammar, I think.
That's the most
what they're saying.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I was about to say. It's not like I'm on here like... I could be, I mean.
Well, I don't even know what that just was.
That was me last night while I was recording my drunk vlog. You know what? Fuck all yous. Yesterday we recorded Pleasure Explosion, the main Explosion Network podcast, if you don't listen to that one, and all these fuckers wouldn't let me pimp myself, so I'll just do it at the start of the episode now. At Viva La Dill on Twitter and youtube.com/Viva La Dill. Suck a dick. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, Jono.
Jono Sai.
That was a very loud...
That was a very good one.
prominent. That was a very prominent Jono Sai, if I've ever heard one.
It was in it.
And you've had a lot of them.
Nick,
I was
I'll talk about the
I was
Prey
thinking
demo
that
first
maybe
up
this
today.
is the episode that I plug, but then you went and said that.
No. I don't know what... No, I just said Nick should talk about Prey. I don't know what you're talking about.
Continue.
Prey.
How them aliens?
They're surprisingly very interesting.
I need you
mean-
to sell me on Prey. This is the main thing. I think I have
Yeah.
no interest in this fucking game. Sell me on it. Tell the people...
I was
tell me
exactly
why
the
do I
same. Watching the trailers from E3 and whatnot, I was like, this does not interest me at all. It's the enemy design looked very uninspired and it just looked general FPS-y. So when they released that demo, I was like, oh, why not? It's the first hour, I'll give it a go. And then from the first 10 minutes, I was hooked. I mean, it's not just a general FPS, like space shoot 'em up. It's pretty much the evolution of System Shock and Bioshock. And there's some... I don't want to spoil, like... Because within the first 20 minutes, there's big plot twists and whatnot, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but the plot goes in interesting... Yeah, because it's the first hour of the game. It's not like... Yeah, it's not like highlights... And it really sold me on the game. Like I'm buying it now when I originally had no interest whatsoever. The aliens, I've only encountered two types so far, but they're called, the little ones kind of look like face huggers, but they're called mimics. And what they do is, you see them out of the corner of your eye scurrying off, and then what they can do is they can like mimic an item in the room, so they can become like a mug or a chair or something. So you never truly know where they're coming from, and they just pop out of nowhere and scare the shit out of you.
Yep.
Here's my big question straight up. We did an episode of Pleasure Explosion the other week about spoilers, and this is a good tie-in because you just said there was something within the first 20 minutes, such a big plot detail that actually sold you on the game, and you had no interest before that. So at what point does this, like, is this, like, if the spoiler's going to sell more people on the game, then shouldn't they just be marking it? Like, do you think they should just be marketing what it is, or...?
It wasn't the spoiler that sold me on the game. It was more like how the game is, like a System Shock, Bioshock, you know, world building, reading emails, stuff like that. That's what sold me.
Love reading emails.
It was, yeah. No, I love reading emails and like data pads and games and whatnot. But yeah, like the spoiler didn't sell me on it. It was just more the type of game which I wasn't expecting from the trailers.
So do you reckon they should have put out the demo a little, like, because it only came out last week, the game's out this week, do you reckon they should have put this out like a month or more ago to get the hype building? Because, like, no one was talking about this game at all, really, until this week when the demo dropped. Or last week when the demo dropped.
Possibly, then it mightn't have been ready for then either.
It's only the first hour, come on, they could just polish that, the first hour of a game up.
No, I suppose so. But yeah, I actually commend Bethesda for doing something like this because it very rarely happens these days.
What, demo?
Yeah, like demo or even like the first hour of the game.
Yeah, well, maybe they felt they needed to get the hype.
Possibly, yeah.
How long is this?
Especially when they're not doing the pre-release reviews anymore.
How long is this demo available for?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's indefinite.
Yeah, good. Okay, I'm going to check it out. Like you with that E3 trailer, I had no interest really. I'm not a big shooter guy, but I love BioShock, and I think that's probably my, like, I don't like horror games, as we've talked about it on other podcasts.
Yeah, it's not very much horror. It's more like jump scares.
Yeah, like the BioShock level of scariness is something I can handle.
Yeah.
They did in that first trailer. They did try and sell it as like a proper psychological horror type thing, like the dude's looking in the mirror and whatever. Is any of that, like that original trailer they showed at E3? Like, is any of that, like, does that even make sense when you're playing the demo? Because from what I've seen of the game, I'm like, I don't even understand how that trailer ties into the game at all.
To be honest, I really don't even remember the trailer. That's how uninterested I was with it.
I remember watching it live.
I was more
was it
upset
E3,
with...
Yeah.
I was more upset with the cancellation of Prey 2 because that looked really good, but I think this will fill that void pretty much.
Sounds
I can't remember what the original Prey 2 looked like.
Prey 2 was like...
360, yeah.
You're like a space bounty hunter.
Oh, no, I do remember this. This is...
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yes, the Bounty Hunter one. I thought that was like Cyberpunk or some shit before CG Projekt Red was doing it. Maybe because something completely different. Ashley, do you have any interest? What do you think about Prey? Oh, very good.
Yep, moving on.
I recommend giving the trailer a go. I mean, the demo a go.
It's just like... It's an hour. But is this a budget price game? You were saying off the podcast before.
It's a full price game, but JB have it at 59 on release, and like I think Big W is 62, and
that's pretty steep.
So I was about to say that's a lot.
But you can get it at EB if you trade in one game. You can get it at the same price at $59.
Or you can get a price match.
Very good.
Probably.
True. Yeah.
If you live in a town with those shops.
Do you not have EV where you
I do, but...
No, the other shops.
The other shops that offer...
Do you not have a JB or a...
Oh. Do you not have those?
I definitely do, but I've... At the previous location I lived in...
Yeah, I was about to... Yeah.
You're kind of screwed.
I only got a JB here last year, so I completely... I always understand. Whenever people would be like, JB has it, and you can just price match, and I'd be like,
oh, JB.
I've never... It was one of those... JB was one of those shops, anytime I went on holiday somewhere, it would be like, man, I got to go to a JB, because I never had one. It would be like the craziest shop. It would be like, look at all the DVDs and Blu-rays and the games and the... What, like, all the stuff. It would be like, it's like crazy. It would be...
And now you wake...
Literally be...
And now you wake up every day and go, I got to go to JB.
I like going there. The one we got put in is like a pretty big size store, and it's JB's.
Like, how are you
cool.
not working there?
I fucking applied, didn't I?
Yeah, you
they're weird.
Put a shirt on.
It threw me off when they
look like you're there.
Just put a shirt on. Just.
It threw me off when they started selling WhiteGoods.
Yeah, the one we've got's a home, like a JB home or something like that, that sells everything as well. It's games and stuff.
You don't really know who's actually working there either, because they don't wear a uniform.
No, because they wear normal clothes. Yeah, you have to look for the like the
tag,
lanyards or something like that.
So print one of those out and just wait till someone...
Print a lanyard
and then be
out.
like, hey, I didn't get paid this week. What's going on?
What's up with that?
Just printed over my RTX badge.
There's not that many people that work at JB. I think they'll realise.
There's a few that work in one. I think there must be like 5 people assigned to every section of the store or something. Because it's like you go over near the fridges and there's like 2 or 3 dudes just standing there doing nothing. You go up the back near the sound systems. It's like there's 2 dudes just standing there twiddling their thumbs. I'm like, you know, couldn't the fridge dude cover the sound systems as well?
They're pretty different things.
Yeah, but
They both go into a
Doesn't
power
your
point.
fridge have a sound system built in?
they go. Yeah, I was about to say they both plug into a PowerPoint. They both run off batteries and stuff like that.
Batteries.
What fridge runs off batteries?
I don't know how they work.
A
Welcome
fridge
to the
running off
number one
batteries.
white goods podcast in the Oceanias, where we just talk about whatever the hell I want now. So the COD, well, the WW2, WWF, World War II trailer dropped last week. World War II, some say, and now I write to, and then Nick tells me off for not putting the fucking Roman numeral fucking gibberish.
That's what
to
they
it.
want.
I'm sorry. It's going to happen today. I'll edit this podcast and I'll put 2. Just how my brain works. I'm going to apologise.
In the
So
YouTube
has everyone
video.
watched the...
Too little,
I
too
will
late.
fuck the... Yeah, it's fine. Has everyone watched the trailer for the...
No, I
Yes.
haven't, but that's not.
You haven't?
I'm not a COD guy, so no interest.
No, I haven't watched the trailer, but I have slight interest from what people have been saying about it.
It looks cool. The graphic wise, it looks cool. The thing that grabs me straight up is that I was worried that because World War II covers so many like big battles that we've already kind of played in games. I'm like, well, are they just going to redo them? And it's like, are they going to be interesting again? And like seeing them actually at the start of the trailer, you see them coming off the boats, and I don't know how many games have done that beach. What's the fucking beach's name?
Normandy.
Omaha.
Normandy.
It's like Normandy Beach, yeah. But heaps of games have done that. Like even like Medal of Honor's done it.
See, they're all games that I haven't really
Fucking
played
dumb.
before, so that's gonna add a lot more interest for
Really?
me. I'm not a big first-person shooter guy, especially online. Like the COD community seems to be inherently a multiplayer community, which doesn't interest me at all. So
Prominently.
yeah, and the last one I played was the Troy Baker, Kevin Spacey one, because it came with my PS4. But otherwise, I've kind of only dipped in and out of the series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'll probably check it out as long as the campaign's significant.
It looks cool. Yeah, that's the thing that grabbed me straight away. I was so worried about them but I was, for some reason in my mind, I was just like, oh, it's going to be boring to see these things that I've played in several different games before. But as soon as the trailer started, I was like, wow, it looks cool. It's like, this is just going to be fucking epic to play through again. And I don't know, with the last few COD games, they've actually hired like legit people to write them. Like the last one they hired, I can't remember who, but they hired some big writer to actually write the story for that game, and
Yeah.
Kevin
so
Smith.
they're putting a lot more. I fucking wish. Imagine
that
that.
would be such a weird thing.
I would drop my pre-order money in a fucking dime. So Nick, you can go because you're probably the biggest fan here for this type of thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be the shake-up that Call of Duty has needed, because they're releasing a new multiplayer mode called War, and from what I read, it's 40-odd players in a match, kind of akin to, say, like Battlefield, but not as grand.
To me, it sounded like Rush mode, but they
Yeah.
didn't release all the details yet. It was just like rumored stuff. But it's like they say it's going to be an objective-based mode where it's like based on real-life events during the war. So you'll do this, and you'll get to an objective, and you have to do something. The map will push on, and it's going to be heaps
Kind
of
of
players
like
and stuff like that.
Wolfenstein Enemy Territory or Quake Enemy Territory. Yeah, and it's going to be like all the maps are linked. There'd be like campaigns, and the maps are linked together and have like a loose narrative through them, kind of like Titanfall 1 did or whatnot. And yeah, I'm really excited. Like I love, it's weird to say, but I love the history of the world wars and whatnot, and I'm into it, and it'll never get old to me. And I mean, the graphics look insane. Like you can say you've done it over and over again, but each time it's a little bit different too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the big events.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
what I
as
meant,
close
like,
as you're going to get to kind of like reliving the moment, I guess, if you want to call
reliving
it
the
that.
moment.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
No, but
for
like
that.
the closest you're going to get to try and experience how it was.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
obviously
really
saying that about it's obviously saying that about Call of Duty is a bit hyperbolic, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
It's a fine line, really, like between glorifying war and appreciating it for what it means and for what it is. And I think that's probably more what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think the focus on so what you're going to play as some guy called like Ronald Red Daniels, the U.S. First Infantry Army? Do you think just having it be once again from the American side, and not shaking up a bit like Battlefield 1 did, and maybe even offering like a half a campaign where you play as the other side and mixing it up? Do you think just focusing solely on the U.S. side again is kind of a boring move?
That is the kind of thing. Like, it's obviously an American company, and their biggest market is America. And what sells to Americans other than America
themselves? Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Would it not be fairly controversial to play as the Nazis?
I don't see why.
That's
not.
what I'm saying. They could shake it up.
Guys. You can play as them, but you're playing as the bad guy. Like, you play as the bad guy in other games. I don't see why.
I think it would just be in this kind of culture wherein I think it would be criticised fairly heavily, and they might want to avoid that kind of negative publicity.
They could do it in a way where you're just a regular Wehrmacht soldier. Like, not all Germans were Nazis.
Yeah, but you know that
the other way.
Sorry, go.
The other way they could go about it is go one of the other factions, not necessarily the Nazis,
Germans.
maybe like the Japanese or something, to mix it up.
Yeah, I just mean Italians. Like the focus on America. It's just like you just gotta play an American again. It's like
with Call of Duty 1 and 2, they had like 3 or 4 separate campaigns. Where in Call of Duty 2 there was the Russians in Stalingrad, the English in North Africa. I think they did America and Europe. Like, that worked fine, and Call of Duty 1 and 2 were fantastic games.
DLC!
But I think, I think because they're selling to America and Americans love themselves, and they're going to focus on that.
I think but it's like, the whole thing about not playing as the Nazis is, that's simply based on like I feel like we're at a stage where we should be able to, like, it's so far distance. Like, you hear people have these arguments. I don't think you could make a game today where it's like you play as a member of fucking ISIS or some shit, because it's like too close to like real world still happening kind of thing. But I do think like the distance between that World War II Nazis and, you know, Hitler, all that stuff, like, it's so long ago to the point where I feel like someone could be brave enough to explore that, and that doesn't mean, like, you're obviously not going to paint them as good guys, because they're not the good guys, but like, I just don't see there's no issue and you could tell a moral story of you could tell a story where it's like, this guy thinks he's doing the right thing and he's in it, but by the end of it he realizes like he was on the fucking wrong side, and maybe and he like shoots himself in the head or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
it doesn't have to be that, but
I think that it could be done, but it's going to be a lot harder to pull off in the sense that
I don't think any company wants to do that.
Yeah,
it's
painting.
They explore it in. They explore it in film and TV and whatnot. Like, there's this excellent show called Generation War, which is like the German Band of Brothers, where it's just a bit like this squad of German soldiers is trying to get through the war. Like, they're not motivated politically in any way other than to defend their homeland. But
was that a big show?
I think. Pardon?
Was that a big show?
It's a German language show, so it's not big here.
So no.
Yeah, this is Activision's massive franchise. I don't think they want to play with it at all.
I was going to say that it's a lot harder to go to explore those concepts when you're trying to sell to millions of people.
I think that, like, if you was to ask me which is more offensive, like, just like without trying to get silly about it, it's like, is it more offensive to play as a Nazi? Just shooting, and you shoot some American soldiers, but the game is well aware that you're the bad guy, or that scene in like Modern Warfare where you're the terrorist and you just can mow down a bunch of civilians in the airport. I'm like, the civilian random shooting thing is more closer once again to like current times that could happen shit like that does happen. So I think that's more upsetting. It seems more real than like the Nazi thing to me, if that makes sense.
But it's also against civilians, which is the big difference, I'd say.
That makes.
I would argue there'd be big uproar on Fox News and whatnot saying, "Oh, here's a game where you play as a Nazi and you're shooting American heroes that died for our country." And
yeah, I suppose it's a touchy thing. I just hope that someone. I hope that the game.
I'm sure somebody has some game on Steam hidden away somewhere has probably done this.
Oh yeah, probably. But
indie.
But it's like there was that game. Does anyone know about that game? Like it was called Hate or Hateful or something like that. That was on PC. Yeah, it's like
Edgelord game.
What the fuck? I remember watching the trailer for that and just being like, well, this is fucked. Like, what's even the... So for anyone that doesn't know, it's just like you just play as a guy and like the story, it's just like he opens with him. He's like, he's a fucked up psychotic dude. And he's just like, I want to kill everyone. Then it's like this top-down game where you just run through the town. You just run into people's houses and just start murdering them in bloody fashion. And you just rack up score points. Like, that's it. It's just run around, kill everyone, just rack up score points. But you're like a fucked up psychotic killer and you're supposed to be all happy. I'm like, well, this is interesting. Like, is there any like deeper? Is there anything deeper to this? No, it's just we love murdering people. It's lots of fun. Well, good job, everyone.
How's that different to that game Party Hard, where it's just a guy going around to parties killing everybody?
I haven't heard of that one. Is that the same thing?
Yeah. No, it's similar.
Greg Miller did a let's play with that one. It's like a top-down kind of what's it called? You know.
Yeah, it sounds the same. But see, I'm gonna say
Hotline Miami. That's what I'm trying to think of. It's that kind of.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what I was about to bring up Hotline Miami. But the reason that Hotline Miami is so good is because it offers more than like this is just simply you just running around easily killing people just for score points. Like it's not senseless. And Hotline Miami does have a story, and it's kind of like really dark and fucked up, and it's like. The director of fucking Drive, Nicholas Riding Whiffen, or however you say his fucking name, like made Hotline Miami. It seems like the kind of thing that guy would make, from the music to the characters and all sorts of things like that. So I don't think that's really the same, even though a lot of people like Hotline Miami 2 was banned here because it was too some fucked up sex scene and or some shit. I don't even. Australia.
When I go to San Francisco, do you think I'll be able to download that Hotline Miami sequel on my Vita?
Yeah, because you'll just make an American account.
Do I still?
You just make an American account here.
Do I still get trophies on my account?
No.
No, it'll be American account.
Yeah. No, because you can.
It's a separate account.
If it's, I haven't tried on Vita because I'm not. I've never.
No, with Vita, your memory card is tied to your account. So to create another account, you need a new memory card.
So you can't just switch between them once you've downloaded it?
No. You can do it on the console, but not on the Vita.
Yeah. I was about to say, on console, you could go onto like the Jap store or the American store or the fucking Korean, whatever, you know, and you could make an account, download a game, and then because it's on your console, then you can just switch back to your main profile and still continue to play the game, and then you'd get trophies on your main account. Little tip for new players, if you want to do that. Like, I have random tangent on that topic. You can get, you know how sound shapes you can get like all the easy platinums. If I wanted to, I have like 3 easy platinums waiting for me because all I would need to do is make a Japanese account, a American account, something else account, and buy sound shape once off all those stores, download the Vita versions, all that, whatever, you know, and then you can still cloud save, even though they're from different things apparently. So
why haven't you done this yet?
Because I'm like, that's.
Why do you care?
That's a bit far for me. Even for me, I'm like, that's.
Every trophy counts. Every trophy counts.
Yeah, as long as it's from my own country. There's that unwritten rule. Needs to be from my country. I did have I have a Jap account and an American account.
I don't think you meant to say Jap, just by the way.
No. Aren't you? But that's what it says on the... You're right, JAP. Yeah, I know, but it's like shorter.
You can say JAP.
I think it's like a...
But I say Oz.
I know. I'm
like
just saying...
AUS. Oz.
It's a slur to some people.
Okay, well, if that is a slur, I apologize, and I won't say it, but I seriously didn't know that.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, but you know how I'm picturing it in my head. It's just like the shortened version. Yeah.
It's like
I have a Japanese account and an American account and all that. I had them on PS3 and I downloaded because the random in Japan they have like some little random cat character that is real popular over there. I don't know the name of it though, but
Hello
was
Kitty.
a free. No. It's some weird game, but it was free, and I made a Japanese account and downloaded it, and I was just clicking buttons around, and I was getting trophies, but I couldn't understand what the trophies said, and I couldn't do anything. They're still on my account, and you can scroll through my profile, and it's like, I have no idea what this game is called. I have no idea what I've done to get these trophies, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I did it anyway. This was the start of my slow creep into trying anything for trophies.
I made a US account when they first released the DLC for GTA 4, and I downloaded the DLC and then found out the hard way the download, like their version DLC doesn't work with the PAL version of the game.
Yeah.
So I spent like $50 for nothing. And the only thing...
You know what I found out?
Rockstar really needed that money.
yeah, it went to a good cause.
Well, I really wanted to play it.
You know, I found that out by the copy of BioShock I brought years ago when I played BioShock was a pre-owned copy from EB Games, but it was like a Region 1 copy or whatever. Is that America, Region 1? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
So it was an American copy of the
region.
game. Yeah, it's definitely not this region. We're 4. I know what region we are. But then I went to buy the DLC off the store, but I brought the DLC, but it wouldn't hook up with my disc copy of the game because it was a fucking American copy, and I never realized this, and I was like, but I brought it here, like why isn't this working?
That happened to me with Mercenaries 2. I imported that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even understand why they have these DLC region it happens way less now, but I'm like,
when the discs and the games are region free, but they still do that, it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's really annoying because when Fallout New Vegas came out, I ordered it online because it was cheaper, and I didn't have as much money back then. And then, because I didn't want to wait for it, I went and rented it, played it for a week, and then it came and it was a different region, so I had to sell it and buy the correct region. And then I wanted to play like the Game of the Year edition of the original Fallout 3, of New Vegas, but I had to find the one that was the right region because it was a
save files.
It sucked.
I had that Sonic's Ultimate or Sega Genesis collection. Our version is called Sega Genesis collection or Ultimate Sega Genesis collection, and in America it's called Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection. And I knew in my mind that both versions had different trophy lists from looking online when I played it originally. And a couple months after I got the platinum in the original one, I was in EB, and there sitting was a pre-owned copy of the one called Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection. I was like, oh, fuck it, it's here. Like, so I brought that, and I played the American copy and got the platinum again. But the only difference, like, there's nothing changed in the game. This is what confuses me, because I'm like, there's not like there's a part banned in the Australian version. It's not like they was like, oh, this Tetris block's a bit too raunchy or something. Like, better block that in the Australian version. The only difference is the fucking name, and they've got different trophies.
I know, when you slide that long 4 block in to a hole, it's pretty suggestive.
You don't know what these grandmas rating games at the system are like. I was like, wait,
is it called?
This was before we had an R18 plus rating.
Is it called Genesis or Mega Drive?
Oh, it's a Mega Drive. Yes. Yeah,
I was a Sega kid, so
yeah, I've never played an actual Sega console in my life, so.
Dylan,
I had a lot of fun with that collection as a side.
Were you even alive?
I barely. I was a sperm, at least. I was in my daddy's ball sack on my way.
That was my first console.
the only one I had was the one with Alex the Kid built into it.
Which is
the one before that.
I don't know.
The Master System.
Calm down, Sega over here. You know what? The
Dylan.
best game on it, and it was the hardest one, the hardest trophy to get, but because I had to play it so much the first time and had to get decent at it because you had to beat the last box, it was like the Sega Tetris one where you had to play against Sonic bosses. I don't know what the fucking game it was called. Like what's the Doctor?
Robotnik?
Oh, fuck. It Robotnik, but in America he's called Eggman,
right.
I think, and that's the difference. Yeah, they changed his name for some reason. It was called like Dr. Robotnik's Mega Blocks or something like that. But it was like you was playing Tetris, a version of Tetris, and next to you on the side screen he was playing all these bosses from Sonic. Great game, best Sonic game ever. That one, that Tetris one. Just putting that out there. Or Sonic
the Hedgehog. And Sonic and Knuckles?
No, Knuckles. Yeah. Yes, that's the best.
Sonic is
game.
like my primary school childhood with games is Sonic. That's my everlasting memories.
So, yeah, but do you actually like them, or do you just go back now and you're like, Sonic's actually shit?
It's a bit like
I like
it's a bit
them.
like Crash
I'm just bad
Bandicoot,
at them.
where I like playing it. I like playing it because it reminds me of that. And it's not like an awful game. It's fine. I like it.
I think they're really weird. Like, when I went back and played them a couple years ago or whatever, I was like, these games are so weird. Because the first level you always play fun. Like, I'm talking about Sonic 1. The first level you just fly through because everyone kind of knows. You're just like, wee, I'm off. But then when you get further in the game and you're like, the game's like, you got to go fast. But then all of a sudden there's too much going on and it wants you to stop to get boxes. I just feel like Sonic was always like counter... Like, it was trying to do two different things. It's like, run really fast through the level, but then you've got to stop to get this thing and do this other thing. It's like, would you want me to try and speed through it, or am I playing it like Mario? Like, what am I doing here, Sonic? Fuck.
I didn't like the water levels. That's where I got stuck.
Yeah, no one likes fucking water levels. Yes, Nicholas?
How's Outlast 2?
I was going to put that, but I've only played the first hour and a bit. I think... It's Outlast again, but if your problem with the first one, which I know a lot of people's was they were like, it was just it's a haunted asylum. How exciting for a horror game. I bet there's monsters in this asylum where there was psycho people. This one's way more different, way cooler. Like, it's you and I believe she's like your girlfriend. I don't think you're married or anything, but you and this woman that's your partner at the start of the game are flying over. You're looking for something to like do a report on. You're like reporters or some shit, and then all of a sudden your helicopter crashes and you're in buttfuck nowhere where apparently there was supposed to be no one, and your helicopter pilots, when you come to, your helicopter pilot's like fucking skinned alive, just hanging up dead in front of the thing. It's like, well, this is fucked, and your girlfriend's missing. And then as you get close, this is all within the first 10 minutes, so Jack can get fucked for spoilers. You can and then you get a bit closer and you see there's like a village there and the people, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And like some people were just staring at you and back off into the bush, and the character will be like, hey man, do you want to help me? And they just like look at you real weird. And then the first enemy you finally come across is this giant woman who has this giant fucking stake, and she kept killing me several times because I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do. But she just mutters all this stuff, and then when you get past her, you finally get in, and she's like, you're inside this little barn. She walks up, she's like, Jesus fucking hates you, and he's gonna fucking God wants you dead. And your character's like, what the fuck is going on? So it's all these it's like, and you hear this like pastor dude over the radio, and he's like saying that they need to they need to like kill you because that's what God. It's all kinds of fucked up. So if like crazy religious people sounds like your sort of thing, running around and it's a pretty huge area too. It's not like compared to the first one where it's like an asylum, but you go into the dungeon type area and there's cells, and like the first Outlast is cool, but this one's already like, okay, so it's like a farmland, and then I've gone into buildings and like gone into like little dungeon parts there, but then you go back outside and there's these huge cornfields, and there's some of the people there appear to not get along with other people there, but then they're all there together, and I don't exactly know why they're all there. It's interesting. At least it's telling for someone who watches, like as we talked about on Pleasure Explosion, I quite enjoy horror stuff. So I've watched a fair few horror movies and games and stuff. I'm like, well, this is fresh. Like I'm entertained solely by the concept of it. If it's that,
is there like in Outlast 1 where the notes you pick up and read?
Yeah, there's heaps of notes scattered out and stuff like that, and you still have So I don't think there's any connection. I mean, at the end they could be like, "Whoa!" Like,
I think the creator said it's in the same world.
Yeah, but well, when you're playing through Outlast 1 at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah,
or did
trying
you
to. No. Stacey wants to watch me play, and she likes when I get scared.
I like it. Well, I'll be interested to talk to you when you get to... Because the worst thing about the original Outlast was its ending. Because it does something at the end which is like... Okay, that was a bit left field, but... Alright, well, at least the rest of the game up until this point was good. It's like there's heaps of movies... Like, I can give examples, but they're all like spoilers. But there's heaps of movies where you like enjoy it, and then it does something really weird with the plot, or introduces a random thing at the end. And you're like, why? Like, you were just doing so good, and then you've just introduced this fucking why. But so if it takes place in the same world, that has me intrigued more about what the hell's going to happen in Outlast. But the only tying factor so far is the mechanics, like the video camera, the night vision, you record stuff, and it'll that's like your collectibles in the game, I suppose, is to point the camera at the thing for long enough for it to record it. But yeah, it's great. It runs fine. It's great. It runs a bit better than the original, even though the original was like a very late minute port to PS4 for some reason. I don't know. It came out like a year.
Has anyone seen the supposed scene that was deleted?
No, because that's still such a weird thing to me. The fact that they was like, yeah, it's not actually in it at all anymore anywhere.
No, I think it still is, because I saw a video clip.
It though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because the one I saw was tame as fuck.
Yeah, I think it was to do with the...
Does that surprise you?
How the view, like where... So it was like you were first personing it or something. Like they just changed the way in which you view the scene, and that made the big difference apparently. So it would be like saying like you're playing a game where you're an ex-murderer and you get to see him like first person chop off people's legs, but then they change it to you're playing a different character watching the person chop up, and then all of a sudden that's okay because the game doesn't introduce the fact of like making it like you because it's in first person, which is what they always have problems with, I think.
That wasn't the scene that was...
No, but that's like the example.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say what the actual scene was.
Oh, okay, right.
It's a spoiler.
But from the video that I saw, it's just you see something off in the distance that pretty much just looks like two Barbie dolls. You see worse things in games like GTA and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's the first person thing is always the problem, I think.
I don't remember reading anything about the first person.
No, I've done like this is from like previous.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And just from gathering, like how they seem to judge different games. It's like if a game's third person and it's extra violent, they seem the ratings board seems has less problems with it than if it's in first person, because then it introduces the idea that the character is you compared to the third person. That's why they always have problems with first person shooters more. Yeah, because it's you're holding the gun. But if it's third person, it's like, oh, it's a different character, so it's okay. It's the same as like movies, because you're like, oh, it's not me because I'm watching the character on the screen. But like, oh, it's a first person movie, but they have done that. There's a horror movie that is entirely in first person.
Was that Hardcore or something that came out?
No, Hardcore Henry is the like the
action game
video game movie. No, there was one called Maniac, and it stars
with
Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood, yeah, that's all first person horror and typing, which is cool. Yeah. He's like, I'm
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, well, add that one to the list, I guess. So moving on before Jono's like, you guys are scaring me too much of all this talk of bloody murder.
It's okay, I tuned out.
I'm just getting so scared here.
He skipped it.
You can't skip it when you're on it. They announced the PS Plus games for this month. There was only, as far as I saw, there's only one difference between, you know how some months we get the exact same list as Americans, but then sometimes it's like, well, this one game's different. I'm like, okay, so there's one game different this month. We're getting PS4 Tales from Borderlands. Who hasn't played Tales from Borderlands? Everyone's played it.
Everyone's played it.
That's exactly the same as me. So I was like, well, that's great for anyone who hasn't played it. If you haven't played Tales from Borderlands, you should play it because it's A, fucking hilarious, and B, it's probably Telltale's best one.
Also, easy trophy.
Best soundtrack.
Yeah, and the soundtrack. I think, and it is the one. Like, if you're like, hey, you should get into playing Telltale games. It's like you should play Tales. You don't suggest Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us or anything like that. It's just
maybe Batman.
Play Tales. But I feel like Batman.
Batman's the easiest sell, probably.
I suppose there's some people out there. There's some guy out there's like, I don't care about Batman. I don't like Batman. I'm like, doesn't everyone like Batman?
Not a fan of Batman.
Why am I not surprised by this at all?
No, I like Batman. He's the only DC thing I really like,
First
actually.
thing.
He's like, did everyone hear Nick just say he likes something? That's on record.
Hey, I said I like you guys.
He said he liked the Prey demo.
Oh, yeah, true. No, did he actually say out loud he liked it? He was just like, the demo's got me interested in the game, but I will not say I
It
actually
sold me on
it.
the game.
The other PS4
Life's too
game
short
we
to
get
enjoy things.
is Alien Nation. I've also already owned this and have played it. Has anyone else played Alien Nation?
No.
I haven't, so I'm excited.
No one. So
I love Resogun.
It's nothing like
Resogun.
but it's nothing like,
it's like.
Twin stick shooters just don't interest me.
Is it more like Helldivers?
I haven't played Helldivers.
Really?
My comparison
Helldivers is fantastic.
My comparison. What's the zombie one?
Dead Nation.
Dead Nation. My comparison to it is Dead Nation, and I like Dead Nation more because. So Dead Nation is like very like you can't just walk through closer concealed levels. Like you can't. There's not much exploring to do. It's very simple. It's just like your aim in the game is to get to the end of the level and you level. It's a lot more simpler to Alien Nation. Alien Nation has this whole thing where it's got a way bigger loot, kind of similar like Diablo system built in than I think I'd originally thought. So when I first started the game, I was just like, I'm just going to run through this level, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I have to replay this level to do this, and enemies are dropping loot, and I'm constantly having to change my fucking gun. And I was like, I'm spending way too much time in menus than I really wanted to be playing this game. I thought it was just going to be like a twin stick shooter. I can sit back, just shoot the fuck out of some aliens, have some fun, jump into online co-op with some randoms, chill. But I'm like, I'm spending so long in menus looking at guns and stats, and that's fine, but it's not what I wanted from Alien Nation when it originally came out.
What are the trophies like?
Terrible.
Really?
I think I got a couple in my few hours with it, or however long. I probably played it for like 5-6 hours, and I didn't get that many. It did have a cool system where it had like countries waging with one another. That was cool. Like I brought it the first day it came out, and it was already like I think Australia was beating America this day. So I was like, yes, fuck yes, thank God.
Say that sorry. Go on.
No, I was just wondering, why do you think we've got Alien Nation while America's got Abzu?
Good question. I don't know. Abzu. I don't know. It must be something to do with the
Publisher. Yeah.
I presume it's something to do with the publisher being like, this game sold better here, or like we'll give this one to do with their numbers, and then decide. Yeah, no, it's odd because some months we do get the exact same games.
See, I thought we always got the same games, except for like this is the first time I can remember it. When else has it been different?
No, it's happened before.
Always, yeah. Back when PS Plus was on PS3, I'm pretty sure for like the first year, every game we got was completely different. Like it would be like, this is the game, nothing compared. Like it would listen to Beyond, and they'd be like, and PS Plus game is blah 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 this month, and I'd be like, don't believe a single word you said. I'd Google it myself and be like, we're getting completely different shit. So I could never.
But
never
since I've been on PS
forward.
Plus, which was when I got my PS4 a
it's
couple
been
of years
pretty
ago,
similar.
I haven't never experienced this before. I can't remember it happening.
It's a lot more rare now, but it does happen every now and again.
Yeah, it happens every now and then, but it's usually only like one game, so maybe you just never know because it's usually the
PS3 game or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, but usually all that shit's the same. But yeah, I don't know. It's
interesting because Housemarque's new game's meant to come out end of this month. So
is it?
Yep, 23rd of May. next.
I thought it was like October or some shit. Or was that their other one?
That might be their other one.
Okay, because they've got like 2 games coming out this year, I think. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something Horn.
Alien Nation also had like a save problem, so I hope you don't get that. Or maybe they've patched it by now. That's their one
You'd
problem.
think so.
Fucking, they just fuck up. It's like they make games that just choose save files for some reason. Like, don't play our game for 6 months until we figure out how to make your save file not get corrupted. Good job, everyone. I think Greg Miller from Kind of Funny did say that. Like, he had save problems with.
Yeah, he said they came over to his
Alien,
IGN office.
Was that Helldivers?
And looked at his
to fix it.
Yeah, to look at his PlayStation or something.
They've always had fucking issues with save files. I don't understand it at all. I don't really care. Like the PS3 games announced, don't really care because who the fuck? I'm sure someone out there that doesn't have a PS4 yet's excited, but get a fucking PS4. Get a job, kid. Go out, get a job. Steal some drugs or something and sell the drugs. Don't sell drugs, but get a PS4. And then the 2 video games announced Laserdisc something or other that I've never heard of, and Typewriter, which I've never heard of either. So, but last month's Vita games, I didn't like either.
You didn't like 10 Second Ninja?
No.
10 Second Ninja was alright.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It?
I finished it.
I enjoyed it, but I...
Did you finish
I finished it.
What was the trophies like? Because I looked at the trophy list and was like, this looks ridiculous.
I'll tell you, I've got my Vita right here because I was...
Oh, look at you. Yeah. Thomas Marshall wasn't on this week, so he's like, fuck it, I got to fix it. I got to replace it. It's because
I was just checking to see if the Shovel Knight DLC Spectre Knight had come out yet, because they said it was coming out to Vita in April. It's now May the 1st, and it's not out, so not happy. I got 7 of the 10 Second Ninja X trophies, which is 36%.
That's higher than I thought it would be. I thought it was one of those games where it's like, I finished the game and I've got 2% of the trophies. Yeah. Like fucking Last
There's
of
only
Us
5 trophies I don't have, and they're like the high completion ones where you got to get 100% on every level or whatever it is.
Yeah. Alright. I got believe it or not, everyone, we've got our first, you may want to block your ears in a moment, Jono, because we do have first email written in from Jaden Pryor, not related to Nicholas Pryor.
First email ever on the Explosion Network.
Yeah, I know, how exciting. It's a good question. Jono, just block your ears for the start of this. What up, cunts? Long time listener, first time writer in her. I didn't add that. With school behind me and employment currently nowhere in front of me, I no longer have to chuck a sickie to watch the E3 press conferences. This year, the plan is to stay up all night drinking before PlayStation's conference with my nerd friend. So I ask you, the hosts, what is your E3 tradition? And does Pleasure Explosion have something special planned for E3? All the best, Jaden. # fuck hot cross buns.
Yeah, boy.
So what does everyone usually do for me personally, I love E3. I think E3 to me is like the thing I look forward to the most every year. I get way more excited about it than you probably should, considering it's like it's more or less just a marketing event for people to be like, I'm going to sell you this stuff and I'm going to watch it. But every year I look forward to it because I stay up, I fucking buy a bunch of energy drinks, and I just sit there and I just take it all in and stay up, and you're like throughout the whole thing you're like, fuck, I'm tired because I got like 4 hours sleep because the Nintendo event's at 1 a.m. and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden I get like, you go back to sleep for an hour and then you have to be up again for the next one, and it's like, oh, I'll watch the IGN live stream now because that starts now, and by the end of it I sleep for a week because I'm like, but it was worth it. It's like my Christmas. I fucking love it, and I've never done it with anyone. I just do it by myself, but fuck, I love it. And do we have plans for it currently? No, we're gonna make some. # teaser? I don't know. So what's your plan? What do you usually do, Jono? Do you do anything?
No, I mean, I'm a latecomer to actually caring about the games industry as a industry, I guess. And probably 5-6 years ago was when I started just kind of checking in on E3, and it wasn't until getting into Beyond and Kind of Funny that I would actually really be looking forward to it and wondering what's going to happen. And I'd usually catch up like when the news hits, like here's the top 10 trailers from E3 and that kind of thing. A couple of years ago, I think I had the week off for the NBA playoffs, and that lined up with E3, so I did watch. That was the Bethesda conference where they announced Fallout and the year of dreams, whatever it was for PlayStation.
Good year to start.
It was, but since then it's only been one more E3, and I had to work, so I kind of watch a little bit on my computer at work when I should be working. I'll probably do that again this year. And maybe watch it. I'll have it on my phone, maybe the Twitch stream or something. But yeah, I would probably watch a reacts like the Kind of Funny guys do, or IGN or something, and just.
I've never watched the reacts. I always just want to watch it, like just fresh. I don't want to be. I don't want my reaction to trailers or reveals to be swayed by someone in the bottom right hand corner reacting a certain way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's when I watch it probably the second time I watch it, or I would watch their reacts, as in when the conference is finished, they do a
post show.
Yeah, post show reacts.
I'll tell you what, you're lucky because the last few E3s, the last few years, have all been great as far as I'm concerned. Well, not great, but there hasn't been a terrible one for quite some time. But you was never
Mr.
around
Caffeine.
for Mr. Caffeine, which is like one of my first years. That would have been like my second or third year. I think I watched E3, and that was like, what the fuck am I like? Because it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever the hell it was. I'm sitting here just watching this fucking guy, like, and now we're gonna, and then next second it's like 5 a.m. and you're like, what the fuck did I just waste?
Why
my
are they
time
so early? The
fucking
PlayStation one seems like it was on
Ubisoft.
at like 11 a.m. our time.
The PlayStation one's always on early morning. The two that are usually on like early, like 1 a.m. or 4 a.m. and shit like that.
Ubisoft.
It's usually like there's that day where it's like 1 a.m. Microsoft, and then it's like 3 a.m. EA, and then it's like 4 a.m. Ubisoft, and then it'll be like, okay, so I can go to sleep now and get like 3-4 hours sleep before the PlayStation conference is on, because that's on at like 9 or 10 a.m. Or you can skip all those, just wake up at 9 or 10 a.m. and watch the PlayStation one like a normal person, but that's not very exciting. Ash, do you have any? Do you watch him?
Yeah, I normally watch all the conferences. Watch the PS.
Good boy.
PlayStation 1 live, pretty much. Try and keep off social media until I watched everything. But
do you keep off social
spoilers
when you're watching it live? Do you keep off social?
Mostly for the PlayStation 1. I don't really care about the Microsoft or the Ubisoft or EA or whatever. But
the social media thing's one of my favorite things about. I forgot to say, like dual monitors or something like that is usually how, because I sit there watching it on my computer, and I'll just have like Twitter feed open on one with like the hashtag for E3 or whatever set, and I'll just have it set to auto refresh, and then I like when they announced the Final Fantasy VII remake, what was that, like 2 years ago at this point, I think?
Yeah.
It was just like I was watching it here like freaking the fuck out, and then my screen just started, like the tweets were like and it just feels like you're like it feels like you're like taking part of it, you know, like it's just like, oh, look at all these, and all these people are like, oh my fucking god, like on my screen. I'm sitting there like, oh my fucking god. As soon as that music kicked in, man, I was having like the biggest heart on. I knocked my deck. It was like, that was the sound it made as I fucking was like, oh, cloud. Nick, do you care about E3?
I do, yeah. The past couple of us coincided with my days off, and so I've gotten up and watched them, and I'd like to watch them the same as you, but I don't generally watch it with the Kind of Funny live stream. But yeah, I love E3. It gets me excited. Like when they announced the trailer or when they showed the trailer for Spider-Man, I welled up. I mean,
it's the thing that annoys me is when people like that. I mean, I understand why people say like they don't get hyped, like don't buy into the hype thing, but I feel like I feel like that's fine and all, and you got to be wary of that, but at the same time, like just letting go of all that and watching E3 and just letting yourself get fucking excited about things, and then the next day being like, maybe I'll slow down my hype on that game. Like maybe just for the moment, just let yourself just go crazy and get excited just for like a 48-hour period or whatever. Like have fun. It's fucking video games. Get excited about shit.
Totally.
Yeah, I hope to put in leave to have it off this year again and get up and watch it.
Well, you might have to.
Yeah,
for
we might. Yeah, we might have to if we want to do something. I don't know what we want to do. We'll do something. I'll do something.
Do you think they're going to top last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can. Like,
because that
in
orchestra
6
last
months,
year, that
the
was
first
insane.
episode of Final Fantasy VII is released, or something like that.
They'll show footage from Red Dead or something. That'd be awesome if that's the first time you see it.
Yeah.
Interesting story to tie this in that I wrote down as a possible thing to mention was that the guy who... So there's this guy at the Wall Street Journal who correctly predicted when the Slim, or whatever you want to call the PS4... Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Actual Slim? Okay. He
PS4.
correctly predicted when the Slim was going to come out. And this same dude wrote an article this week and said that he's like, it's one of those ones. It's like, well, what evidence do you have? It's like, he's like a Michael. What's it? Michael Patch, whatever that is. Like, he's just an analyst of the industry or whatever. But he reckons the PS5 is going to come out end of next year. So, why, how, don't know. But if anything like that was to be true, then you'd think that would be E3 this year. I don't personally buy into it because I'm like, no. I just don't see a world in which they're like, VR just came out last year, the Pro, and now we're going to be like, here's PS5 end of next year, Christmas next year or whatever, 2018. I'm like, no, that just seems like the biggest fucking stupidest decision that Sony could ever make. Like, it's such a bad decision to me that even for how bad decisions Sony have made in the past, that I'm like, surely yous aren't that dumb still.
I really hope they don't. I think there's so much life left in the PS4.
I wouldn't put it past them. Unless
you know
it's
what
like
I do want them to announce? Vita 2. They announced that at E3. I'll fucking... You'll not hear the end of me screaming into your ear holes, motherfuckers. I'll just get on the podcast the next day and be like... Wow!
Yeah, I don't
Remind me not to be on that one.
What? You don't want to get excited? Is that what you just said, Ash?
Yeah, I don't want to
get
don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up for a Vita 2. That ain't happening.
You're bringing me down, guys. You're really bringing me down here.
Can I bring you up again?
Yeah.
Are we going to do an E3 predictions episode? I don't care. I probably won't be on it because I'm only on half of these. But what would be the chances of a reveal trailer for Amy Hennig's Star Wars story?
0.
Why?
I think
at
EA.
do you mean E3 or do you mean the PlayStation?
At E3.
conference?
I don't know what console or anything it's aligned with, but
if they're going to announce any of the Star Wars games like Amy Hennig's one, it would be at the EA conference. And I still
What are they
think
doing
that
this year? Do we know? What EA? They have.
No, they haven't. They'll do something though. Like EA's one of the year that EA's like, yeah, we don't have a conference this year, or we're just doing like a 10-minute online thing. I'll be like, right, E3's dead.
Because it was last year they did that shitty
bury it.
American British cross.
yeah, that sucked.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, that sucked. I don't know what the fuck.
I watched that.
To be fair, they always suck.
But I don't think the Amy Hennig. I still think the Amy Hennig game's at least like a year or two away. I think.
You don't think they'll even reveal it? Like, here's the name. Here's
No.
something.
No, because
It's been a
They
long
got
time
Battlefront,
in the.
they got Battlefront. Yeah, I know, but I don't. I feel like they have to space out the Star Wars Star Wars games and where they want to release them and what they want to do with them and stuff like that. Because I think the moment because of what happened with the original Battlefront and the bad reception it got from most people, they need everyone to be hyped up. They need to hype up Battlefront 2 as much as they can to fix audience faith in that franchise. And I think coming out and being like Amy Hennig's game, even if that was just a trailer and it was like 2018, I think that trailer would overhype any Battlefront news that from E3, which in turn means that people aren't reading about Battlefront 2, which by everything we've seen so far looks to be fixing and will hopefully make people who are hating on the first one like it. So I don't think they can even show anything anything Star Wars Battlefront.
Imagine
2.
if they said,
Yeah,
buy
I agree with
Battlefront
that.
2, played the first 15 minutes.
What's this PS2 era
Crazy.
fucking Hideo Kojima shit? Buy this game, get a demo for
It would
this.
be crazy.
It would.
I'm not.
It's unlikely.
Yeah. It's not going to
Almost impossible. I think either they've got to show trailer, or they've got to not show anything at all of that any heading game. Because the last couple of years they've been showing concept footage and people talking to camera, and you either got to show something.
Everyone complained about that. I didn't mind that whole segment. I'm in like a minority there. That segment that year, that was like, here's the Burnout guys, here's what they're working on, here's the Star Wars guys, here's what they're working on, here's the Mass Effect guys. I was like, nah, it's fine by me.
Yeah, it would be fine if it was just one of them, but it was all of them.
Yeah. I was like, it's nice to know that they're doing stuff, I suppose. Good job working,
this
guys.
Massive company with game developers is just sitting around doing nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what Neil Druckmann does on a daily basis. By the way, that game, that Burnout one, where there was like first person parachuting out of fucking like planes and landing on bikes and whatever the hell was going on. What the fuck is that game? It looked awesome.
Just Cause 3?
Did no one else care about this, or just me, or... Oh, Just Cause 3.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just Cause. Didn't they showed it? It was in that montage the same year that they were like, here's the Star Wars game we're working on. It was a Burnout game, but it was like based on extreme sports and stuff like that.
We'll look into it next week.
First person and everything. Fuck, I just assume it's dead and buried by now, because I haven't heard anything about it for... there's a period of time where it's like, if you don't even hear an inkling about a game for like 2 years at all, it's like, yeah, that's pretty... I'm just going to presume that game's dead at this point. Dead. Bury it. Batman, Superman, it's like Burnout versus gibberish. I don't know. Jono, you wanted to sell me on Mega Man Legacy 2. Go. You've got a minute, and then the show's
Mega Man
ending.
Legacy is a great game. It's a great collection. And Mega Man Legacy 2 looks like more. So get into it.
What's in Legacy 2 that's not in 1?
Well, the Mega Man Legacy is 1 to 6. And there's a lot more games than that, so I assume it would be 7 plus whatever it went up to.
I think
12,
it's like 7 or 10.
Something. Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think 10 was maybe like was it a PlayStation game or something?
It was like PS... Yeah. It was a PS...
They need to keep
game,
it to the
yeah.
2D versions, I think, but yeah.
I like Mega Man. Fine. Do I need to... Like, I brought the collection thing. And it's like, fuck. I swear I was better at these games when I was like a kid playing them. Because I went playing...
Alcohol does too.
But they let you save like anywhere, which is kind of cheating.
Yeah, I know, but I don't do it because I feel like
I
it's
do
cheating.
I do it. I want to get through the game. I don't want to kill myself just to play this thing.
I want to play it the way it's meant to be played. Poor Mega Man. I have nothing for every hashtag every trophy counts this week, unless someone tell me some good trophy story real quick about how they tell me there's a good game I'm missing out on with easy trophies. I'm more or less dying here, guys.
Email us at
pleasureexplosion.com/contact. Is that correct, Nick?
That is correct.
Fucking yes, give me a high
page.
fucking five.
Oh, there you go. I thought
nice
you were
work,
kidding.
Nick.
John is like, oh, they did
We got
something.
the page right. We got the email address right for once. No, I already told you about it's Jack that stuffs it up. Hey, Jack, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But
explosionpod.com/au/email me.com.
Tweet at CruisyMate. How dare you?
It's underscore mate. Yes.
Also, shout out to Tom. You finally got that.
Shout out to Tom.
Dynasty Warriors God Seekers.
No, don't fucking say shh.
No, it's not in the top 5. It doesn't
we
count.
talked about it on the last podcast. Yeah. Come on.
Jesus Christ, I can't do it. They always get... Jono, tell me about this. What is the game with all the trophies?
10 Second Ninja.
Don't tell me it's... Fuck off. That's not easy trophies. Oh, for you, pro gamer over here. It's easy trophies.
Hey, how about you go play Resogun? How about that?
Whoa.
I wish I was good. I told you, I'm willing to admit that game fucking...
No good.
Have they... Why haven't they patched Resogun for VR yet?
Oh, man, that would be so good.
Is that a thing? Because they patched Stardust. Stardust has a VR mode. Super Stardust has a VR mode. Hey, guys, listening. Resogun, VR mode. Now, thank you. You can follow the podcast at Explosion Pod on Twitter, and as we previously said a moment ago, it's pleasureexplosion.com/contact to send through an email like Jaden did, and you can say, "What up, cunts?" and we're fine with that. Well, five out of 6 of us are fine with that.
That's a pretty good hit rate.
Most of it, that's pretty good hit rate. And like, I didn't do that well at maths, but I'm pretty sure that's more than one person.
That's correct.
Where can the people find you, Jono?
You can find me in Geelong, where I live. Or you can find me on Twitter, at Jono himself.
Ashley?
You can find me in Brisbane, where I live, also on Twitter, at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY.
You can find me on Twitter. Nick?
You can find me in Brisbane stalking Ashley, or on Twitter at Lord N.Prior, PRIOR.
That explains that feeling I've been having.
You can find me in San Francisco in a couple of weeks, where I'm secretly jumping into Jono's or Jack's or Tom's bag or someone's to sneak over the border. Trump, please let me in. Don't kill me. I am Australian. We like you people. You can follow me on Twitter at Viva La Dill. What do you mean?
Go watch Dylan's 100th vlog.
Don't claim to be Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yes, it'll be up soon. Hopefully, maybe it may or may not take 24 plus hours to render. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I hope this was a good show. Call of Duty and stuff. Guns. I don't really like Nazis. I've never read Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Have a beautiful explosion. Suck a dick. Whoop 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 whoop.